Tonight on 10, Connie Stevens is a comedy delight in Starting From Scratch. At 8, John Ritter is Hooperman. Then at 8:30, for the first time on television, it's WrestleMania in the comedy Bad Guys.
Good morning, I'm Joan McGuinness. Welcome to this December 13th edition of Till 10. Now, if you were watching yesterday, you would know that it was National Smile Day. So, I hope you flashed those pearly whites. But what if those pearly whites are a pearly fright? Well, there is a solution, because it is teeth implantation, and we will show you just what the latest style in smiles looks like soon. Speaking of smiles, the man who always puts a smile on your faces, and your face as well, Kamal, will be here, and we will find out why the Australian ballet is quite literally dancing on top of the world after this year's season. But first, to tantalise us with a tasted treat, we say good morning to Courtney Clark. Good morning,
Good
Courtney.
morning, Joan.
How are you,
You look
dear?
wonderful.
Smiling my way through that introduction this
Yes.
morning. It is National Smile Week Day.
I think that's wonderful. I think
Even.
everyone should smile. If you smile, you feel better automatically.
I think we do too. Now, we are bolting our way,
Yes.
into New Year, aren't we?
We are indeed. In fact, that's what shortbread's all about. Scottish customs and New Year. And what I'm doing here is creaming butter, 250 grams of butter with half a cup of caster sugar.
Right.
And it's significantly important that we spend a lot of time on this in shortbread, because if we don't, well, then the shortbread bubbles and spreads and doesn't get that marvellous, smooth, matte look.
Finish on it. So
I'll
the
just
sugar
keep
has to be totally dissolved.
beating away and starting to add the flour.
All right. Well, well, I think we're going to a quick commercial break now, and you're going to add the flour throughout the rest of the show, and we'll come back and see what you've done with it.
That's right.
Won't we?
That's
Shortly?
right.
All right. Well, add away, Courtney. Go on. Add.
Oh,
Beat.
Joan, you got me into
woman.
so much trouble last time.
Okay, you beat, and I'm going to go to Shop Talk now, so you stay with us. In a moment, we will meet the Australian ballet stars Elizabeth Toohey and David McAllister. But first, let's meet a couple of stars on the Shop Talk front, Robin and Arthur.
Thank you, Joan. And guess what? You've come just in time for Barmix's Christmas sale. And here is Mr. Barmix, Arthur Peart.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
Hello, viewers.
I've had a look at these beautiful items from Barmix. You've got some great prices on them
They
today.
certainly are, yes, Robbie. Good quality handmade glass.
Yes.
Very nice, huh?
Yes.
We're going to start here with a coffee carafe.
That is beautiful.
It's a heat-proof glass.
Yes.
And, of course, lovely to serve at the table. Pours beautifully.
Thank you.
All right. It has the candle underneath here. Lovely little tripod.
And it's silver plate.
Yes.
Yep.
What a price at $25.
Oh, come on.
Oh, true. I want to sell it at that price, please.
Who am I to argue?
lovely, isn't it?
That's excellent. $25.
Yes, yes. That's great.
Isn't that a good one?
How about this fabulous glass bucket?
Lovely. Handmade.
Yes, handmade. $20. It's great for fruit and
Yes.
a bottle of wine, for ice. Really, really lovely.
These are great, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
What about the spaghetti?
This is a teak wood top with
Yes.
a rubber band to seal here. See that?
Lovely for spaghetti, isn't it? I mean, you always...
A beautiful spiral style. 2 for $20.
Right. This is very good. I'm
Here's your
almost
breakfast set.
speechless.
This lovely breakfast set here,
I
again,
love that.
teak, to match these. A lovely teak top with the seals. You can put your breakfast foods in them.
Yes.
Serve it on the table in the lovely rack. Oh, what a price. Just $25. Gee, I'll buy some of those myself.
Arthur was even shocked. You'll buy some for yourself.
Wonderful
Good.
price.
Yes.
The glass dome
some for
here.
your wife?
Yes, for cheese. Lovely cheese and meat dish for cover.
Yeah.
Another beaut price, just $20.
$20.
Yes.
These are extraordinary prices.
Yes.
They're great.
And
and the kettle, of course.
lovely silver style kettle, $49.95.
$49.95.
Okay.
Well, Well
it.
done.
Quick, give us the numbers.
Before he changes his mind quickly.
Yes, they're lovely.
Melbourne, Elizabeth Street, Box Hill, Malvern, Geelong, Bendigo, Sydney, Canberra, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Adelaide and Perth.
Yes, that's it.
Jeepers creepers.
Good prices.
Sure, yeah.
We should repeat them again.
We should. Yes.
$25 for this.
Yep.
The lovely silver carafe.
Yes.
The handmade glass ice bucket, just $20.
Right.
2 spaghetti jars for $20. The wooden rack with the 3 jars.
Which you're going to buy?
Yeah, $25 only.
Yeah.
The glass dome here, lovely for cheese and bickies,
Yeah.
$20. And the lovely Italian-style kettle, just $49.95.
Well done, Mr. Magoo.
That is very good.
That is so good. Okay, you better go off to your Barmix store and buy that now.
Yes, I will.
Right. Nice to see Arthur so excited.
Yes.
Okay, it's back to you, Joan. I'm sure you're going to be coming over to buy some things too.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, guys. There is no doubt that the Australians are favourites on the World Ballet stage. News from the Australian Ballet's recent visit to the United States of standing ovations from the toughest critics in the world made all of us very proud indeed. Our dancers are back in the country.
Yeah.
Whether they change because of the work that we've been doing.
Well, it's a far cry from Byron Bay, but you're obviously enjoying it. Thanks for coming
Very
in.
much. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Anne.
An estimated 27,000 small and medium sized businesses collapsed in the past year in Victoria alone. A grim reminder of just how tough the economic times are. But it's not all doom and gloom, I'm glad to say. There are business success stories, including this one. Karen Milliner reports on a company marketing wholly Australian-made products, which is also now heavily promoting the environmental message.
The specs, le tough.
The products are familiar, but you may not know that there's one company behind them all. Australis is a family concern, which from humble beginnings 5 years ago, has grown into a successful medium-sized business employing several hundred people. As a measure of that success, the company has launched a new range of body and hair care products called Friends of Australis, and the philosophy behind them is definitely green.
Spoil yourself without spoiling Australia.
I don't think we're cashing in on it. I think that we're really making sure that we provide products that conform to the green direction, but it's not a movement anymore. It really is, I think, the latest survey shows that something like 97% of people prefer environmentally concerned products, and as a marketer, we obviously can't ignore such a large percentage of the total marketplace.
The products are all locally manufactured under contract using natural ingredients, with a big marketing plus these days: no animal testing.
It won't be long before all products are going to have to be green. So it's not a matter of being attuned, it's a matter of catering for what the market's asking for, which is environmentally concerned products of comparable quality to products that they're already using.
The green theme has also been extended to gift packaging for Christmas. Instead of shredded plastic or paper, the company staff came up with a unique idea: wool.
If you look at the newspapers and you watch the television today, we're seeing sheep being slaughtered and farmers really going through very, very tough times. And we thought if we could somehow utilise the availability of this natural resource, somehow provide some sort of base of support to our farming community, and again keep with the natural, environmentally sound product which wool obviously is.
The Nebraska Sheltered Workshops in Melbourne are packaging the products, producing several thousand gift baskets for retailers.
We've tried over the years to encourage utilising sheltered workshops to support our work involvement. No, they're not cheaper, in fact often they're more expensive, but the pleasure we get is that we're providing gainful employment for these people, and they in turn get a lot of pleasure out of being involved with a product, especially an Australian product that fits so comfortably into the environment they work in.
Although producing a line of environmentally sensitive wares is still an expensive proposition in Australia, Sam Gantz believes the effort is well worth it.
And it's times like this that we as a company are more aggressively and more actively out there marketing and providing products, because at the end of the day, consumers need good products, and if we can provide a quality product, then we believe that we'll get the market equity we deserve.
And they deserve it, don't they?
Sure, what a great idea.
Fantastic idea.
All Australian.
Yeah, and even using the sheltered workshops.
Yeah. Very good.
Karen Milliner reporting there. Next up, we're going to cross to New York for a chat with one of Mad Magazine's senior writers about 300 editions.
Oh, okay, I'm just readjusting the satellite.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, there. Is that a good picture now?
Yeah, no, can you just move it a little more to your left?
Okay, that's that way.
Can you go up a little higher?
A little higher? Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You know what, the string, that's about as much string as I have.
G'day. You know, it's nice to get away from the cameras now and again and sing a bit of the music that I like. Hey, why don't you swing along with me?
Hey, find yourself somebody to love.
Yes, swing along with Maury. It's all foot-tapping fun on one great album. From that great Aussie bloke, it's your kind of music. Cheers from Maury Fields.
In some ways, the Cambrook portable food processor is just like the big food processors. It slices, shreds, and grates. But unlike the big food processors, it's light, easy to use, and very easy to clean. The Cambrook portable food processor. As you can see, it really shreds the opposition.
New car buyers, you can thank Bob and Paul for the recession, and you can thank North Shore Mitsubishi for the greatest new car buy of the year. It's the mighty Magna Grand Tourer at a sensational $16,990, yes, $16,990, and if you want some finance, pay just $77 a week. So you can forget Falcon, cancel Camry, say no to Nissan, they're all just too darn dear. So come on over to North Shore Mitsubishi, the home of the $16,990 Magna Grand Tourer, and remember, if you're serious, so are we.
This is the revolutionary back bed from Lilo. BAC, B-A-C, means built-in air compressor. Forget the pump. It's so quick and simple to inflate by hand, anywhere. Perfect for the great Australian outdoors, and the ideal spare bed for those unexpected guests. The velour finished back bed is quality guaranteed by Lilo, the original, the best. Available in single and double bed size at Kmart, Big W, Grace Brothers, and selected sports stores.
I can't remember what it's called. You should know. You're a shop. It's blue. It's white. It's about this big. It's got chrome. It's got chrome at the top that goes up and down like this, and it's got the little pin that goes in through the...
Polaroid.
And it's called
It says it all in an instant.
Nights in white satin.
There is a romantic new perfume from Yardley. Nights in white satin. Because with Yardley, your dream goes on.
Steamy passion amidst the beauty and isolation of an island paradise.
What a tangled web we weave.
For the first time on television, Jilted, 8:30 Wednesday on 9.
Tomorrow on Today, we'll visit the opening night of Paul Hogan's new film, Almost an Angel. Plus four-time Indy 500 winner Al Unser Jr. Those stories tomorrow here on Today.
38 years ago, Alfred E. Newman was a nobody, and while many people may still not immediately recognise the name, the face is unforgettable. It's adorned 300 issues of the Mad magazine, a magazine that survived without any form of advertising. In Australia, the magazine sells 1 million copies a year. Dick DeBartolo is one of Mad's senior writers, and I spoke with him via satellite from our New York studio. Dick, thank you very much for joining us. You can hear me, of course.
Say again?
You can hear me, can't you?
No, I really can. Satellite technology is incredible because I'm in the next room, but I think it's more effective to pretend we're doing all this beaming of signals through the air. But I can hear you fine.
Mad magazine's obviously had a dreadful effect on you, Dick.
My entire life is mad.
Now, you've spent 28 years on this magazine. Are you worried that you're still there?
I've spent 28 years, but I've only been paid for 3, so I'm hanging out. I know those checks are somewhere.
Mad magazine, is it more a kid's magazine, or do you think it's for everybody?
Boy, I'm going to say it's for everybody. The question, one of the questions we're most asked is what age group do you write for? We literally write to entertain ourselves. I think the demographics are basically, the majority would be teenagers, but a lot of adults like Mad.
It must really say something that it's a magazine that does not ask for or need advertising to survive.
I know. The reason, I don't know how it is down in Australia, but here we charge $300,000 for an issue. So consequently, you sell 5, you got it made. No, we don't take advertising, and fortunately, single sale copies are high enough that we support ourselves I guess, in all right fashion.
Well, you do. You sell more than 2 million copies in the US, and down here in Australia, 1 million copies. I mean, it says something about the magazine. I mean, what do you think it is?
That sells it? You know, I once saw a reporter talking about Mad, and it was sort of interesting. He said that Mad gives people hope. Mad, since they don't depend on advertising, can take on General Motors, can satirize IBM, Coke, Pepsi. It doesn't matter how big the ad agency is or the advertiser is. What do we care? They cannot pull their advertising.
One of your big selling points here, at least in Australia, is the fact that your 300th edition is totally on recycled paper. Now that's quite an event.
That is an event. It's the first major magazine to totally reprint on recycled paper, and Mad over there is, first of all, it's very expensive to do that. It's 50% more expensive, believe it or not, to use recycled paper, and but they're hoping that this will make other magazines aware, and that it will send people screaming to the newsstands to make up that 50% shortfall.
You've been there for 28 years, you've been paid for 3. Are you going to stay on?
Oh, I guess so. Basically, I sort of enjoy it. You get to go to see the movies, you get to write terrible things about the movies, you get to get paid for the movie out of petty cash. Our publisher never goes out. He thinks movies are $500. He thinks popcorn is $2,000. So the petty cash that I take out of Mad is $200,000–300,000 a year.
Dick, I thank you very much. We should point out that the magazine, in spite of its critics, has done successfully, brilliantly well, and it's something that would seem to be here to stay. And so are you, Dick.
Liz, can I just do one thing before you go? I always wanted to do this on television, and now this bulletin just came in. I just wanted to say that. I always see news interviews, and I always wanted to just be able to say that. Now you've made me very happy.
Dick DeBartolo from Mad magazine.
Dick's a bit mad.
Well, you'd have to
Might
be.
say. Dick's a bit unwell, I thought.
Well, 28 years doing the same thing.
Yes. He claims he's only been paid for 3 of them, you see.
Little loopy. Yeah.
No, good fun, actually.
You bet. News and weather's next, and then part 2 of our look at children and religion in the 90s.
How long is it since you danced in church? When was the last time anybody here danced in church?
Feel the music start to sway. Holy Spirit, have your way. Feel the body, feel the grooves. See the Holy Spirit move. Dance.
That masked fiend is kidnapped
Tonight on 9.
Where are you taking me?
The hunt is on for the elusive Phantom.
The last man who came down here never returned.
A powerful conclusion
He can blow up this entire opera house.
to a classic tale.
The world up there is not fit for one such as her.
The Phantom of the Opera.
No one who sees my face is allowed to leave here. I thought everybody knew that.
What fate awaits him?
Eric, please!
Find out tonight, 8:30.
I want to take him alive!
A grand finale for the Phantom of the Opera.
It's another world. It's a better life. It's a new day. Newport on Moreton Bay. Sea-scented air, so crisp and clean. It's a better way. Newport on Moreton Bay.
If you thought waterfront living was the privilege of just a fortunate few, we're about to change your views forever. For around the same value as your current home, you could be enjoying waterfront living at Australia's best value canal development. Newport Waterways, northern Brisbane. Here, spacious waterfront home sites are starting from only $115,000. Now that's way below normal market value. And just 30 minutes from Brisbane City, waterfront living is well within your reach. To find out just how affordable waterfront living can be, phone this number now. We'll send you full information by mail. Of course, This is all free, and you're under no obligation.
This is a lie.
For obligation-free information on how you can be enjoying waterfront living at Newport, call 008 077 244 now. That's 008 077 244.
It's a better life on Moreton Bay.
Newport Waterways. Waterfront living is now within your reach.
New car buyers, you can thank Bob and Paul for the recession, and you can thank North Shore Mitsubishi for the greatest new car buy of the year. It's the mighty Magna Grand Tourer at a sensational $16,990, yes, $16,990, and if you want some finance, pay just $77 a week. So you can forget Falcon, cancel Camry, say no to Nissan, they're all just too darn dear. So come on over to North Shore Mitsubishi, the home of the $16,990 Magna Grand Tourer. And remember, if you're serious, so are we.
Right, just shift it back. No, we're getting flare. Can you shift that light?
No, I'm not shifting a light.
Why not?
It's not my job.
Dave, look, if we just didn't do things because it wasn't our job, what sort of country would it be?
Australia.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm not shifting it.
Why not?
It's not my job either.
Choosing the perfect present isn't always child's play. That's why Dimmocks have all kinds of books for all kinds of people. For the biggest choice at the best price, Dimmocks is everybody's idea of Christmas.
It's just gone 8 o'clock. Welcome to our second hour of today. In fact, our last Monday for the year.
It is indeed. And still to come on this Monday, we take a look at a fabulous collection of ballet costumes at the National Gallery in Canberra.
Do you like my tie? Nobody in the studio likes it. The crew hate it.
What's that got to do with ballet?
Well, I just I thought I'd mention it.
I really like it. A lot of people felt it was appropriate for an earlier story in the show.
They said I'd kept it since the 50s.
That mad sex show up on the Barrier Reef, they reckoned, was...
Beg your pardon?
I don't know why they said that.
And a little later on, nor do I. We're joined by, I'm glad we're going on leave.
Cover it up.
By Graham and Sandra Ross, and they'll be talking about lavender and get some Christmas gift ideas from them too.
But first to the news, and Tracy Grimshaw. Trace?
Thanks, Liz. Good morning. Saddam Hussein has accused United States President George Bush, of lying when he says Baghdad has turned down 15 possible dates for peace talks. With the Iraqis insisting that they will decide when the high-level discussions take place, there's despair that they will never get off the ground.
American congressmen trooped through the tents on the Saudi sands over the weekend, peering at the U.S. military machine. While most feel the inability of Washington and Baghdad to even agree on dates for the Bush-proposed talks makes it more likely these forces will be used against Iraq, some still contend an economic stranglehold will work if given enough time.
My own position is that at this point, let's see what sanctions will do for a while before you use force.
The 6 visiting politicians then helicoptered into diplomacy, meeting today in Cairo with Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak. Back in Washington, other congressional leaders are upset anew about the heavy U.S. burden of paying for the huge effort to face down Saddam Hussein. They figure Washington is carrying over 70% of the cost.
We shouldn't raise people's taxes to do this. The people in Japan, people in Saudi Arabia, people in Europe ought to be putting the money together to pay for this enterprise. We got our people on the line out there.
The angry congressmen hope U.S. Secretary of State Baker, who left Washington for Brussels today, will deliver that message tomorrow to NATO foreign ministers. President Bush has returned to the White House after a weekend at the Camp David retreat. To shouted questions from reporters about whether the Baghdad-Washington talks are now dead, Bush had no response. In the United States, Bob Tarlow, National 9 News.
12 people have been taken to hospital after inhaling toxic fumes from a fire at an Adelaide factory. The cause of the incident is still being investigated.
Emergency services were called to the factory at Gilman in the western suburbs last night when a fire started in an outside waste bin. The heat from the blaze went through the factory wall, melting containers full of hydrogen peroxide.
The hydrogen peroxides run out of the containers onto the ground, and the people who turned up initially to the call were overcome by fumes and vapours.
11 firemen and a police officer were treated at hospital for eye and throat irritations. Police divers in Queensland today will continue searching for clues to the suspected murder of Ipswich woman Julianne Gallen. On Saturday, 2 youths snorkelling at a popular swimming spot near Ipswich found keys and clothes belonging to the missing woman.
At this stage, all it does really is confirm that, our suspicions that she'd met with foul play were probably correct.
Detectives hope scientific tests on the items will shed more light. And Melbourne police have door-knocked residents in St Kilda as they investigate the apparent abduction of a woman yesterday morning. Residents say they heard screams for help.
It actually woke us up.
Witnesses say they saw a woman forced into a car where she was assaulted. Police hold grave fears for her safety. Ian Webb, National 9 News.
A 19-year-old New South Wales man will appear in Darwin Magistrates Courts this morning, charged with the murder of 51-year-old taxi driver Graham O'Day. Police say Mr O'Day radioed for help several times before being stabbed to death, allegedly after an argument over the fare. Treasurer Paul Keating is expected to reject calls for a 3-month extension to the deadline for company taxation payments due today. South Australian Premier John Bannon has warned the Treasurer that the recession could force many out of business.
People have to know very rapidly whether or not they've got to gather together that tax or take a loan in order to pay it, or whether they're going to have a bit of breathing space.
But there are unlikely to be changes to the tax system, although Cabinet is expected to come up with new measures to help struggling companies. And with the rest of Finance News, here's Michael Pascoe.
Thanks, Tracy. Aside from the tax issue, a great many companies will be watching the Industrial Relations Commission closely today as SBC management and workers ask the Commission to ratify their no-frills wages deal in an attempt to keep the plant open. As is well known, John Halfpenny's Melbourne union heavies are threatening a ban on SBC, and the federal government has been sitting on the fence. But for many small to medium-sized companies hanging on to the edge this Christmas, the SBC arrangement could offer the chance of life if the Industrial Relations Club does the right thing. It's also worth remembering that the SBC management is giving up the same sorts of perks as their workers. On the markets, our dollar is trading around 76.6 cents against a stronger US dollar, giving us gains on the cross rates. Wall Street dropped 20 points on Friday night, which doesn't bode well for the local bourse. Oil is a little firmer, and gold is up $2.55 an ounce. Looks like one may as well go Christmas shopping today. Tracy.
Thanks, Michael. Tennis, and American Pete Sampras has won the $6 million Grand Slam Cup in Munich this morning. Sampras defeated compatriot Brad Gilbert in straight sets and collected more than $2.5 million in prize money. In horse racing, a win to 5-year-old New Zealand galloper Kessam in the Hong Kong Invitation Cup over 1,800 metres. Ridden by Australian jockey Kevin Moses, Kessam started 6-4 favourite, winning the race by a head from the Sydney-trained Liverstone Lane in record time. The other Australian entry, Krakenbach, finished unplaced. A woman who survived a 5-kilometre fall from a plane in the Soviet Union has won $62 in compensation for losing her luggage. Pravda reports the incident took place in 1981 when she fell out of an Aeroflot plane that collided mid-air with a military aircraft near the Chinese border. Quite extraordinary, Brian.
Where was that? What did she do?
She fell really, it's quite a serious story. She fell 5 kilometres out of this plane. She was the only person to survive the collision. And it's been kept secret until now.
Oh, yeah. I don't... Oh,
Promise.
Oh, come on. Where'd the story come from?
The Wires?
Oh, yeah. Of course she did.
No, it even named her.
Oh, that's
but
good. What's her name?
No, don't
What's
ask
her
me the
name?
names there.
I don't know her. Didn't happen. That's a fib. All right, this isn't a fib. This is a standard. Ding dong merrily on high. No, we're going to have a great time, aren't we?
That's really bad.
It was not really bad. That tie looked good.
No, not the tie.
The singing? Thank you. Well, you're off the Christmas list now. Now, Jennifer Barnes is off my Christmas list too. She's 9. She comes from Bega. Now, she said she heard our joke about how many seconds in a year, and I said 12, and she said I was wrong because there's 24. No, I didn't say 20 seconds, Jenny. I said seconds, and all those other people rang in. So there you go, Jenny lives in Bega. Oh, what a beautiful part of the world. Good cheese. And I'll just say who I got Merry Christmas from. Jeff Wilson sent us a lovely card from, where's Jeff come from? Queensland. And he comes from up there in Fairfield. And also another beaut Christmas card from William Lucas at Daceyville. So thanks, we'll be able to put them here on our Christmas card place. Isn't this nice? This is really friendly and fake. Oh, you nearly got that, Alex. That's a little... Oh, who was it? Bill. Oh, Bill nearly got it. Bill's dad, he's up there at Culliton. Good day, Bill's dad. Perth, fine. and a top of 26. In the Pilbara district, isolated thunderstorms in the east. The Kimberley district, isolated thunderstorms in the far north. Port Hedland 36, Derby 39, and Broome 35, Kalgoorlie fine and 34, and Albany morning drizzle and a top of 20. Now, isolated thundery showers becoming cooler in Adelaide. Northwesterly winds will turn to the west, to the southwest during the day. 30 once again for my cousin Gwen. She'll melt. In Hobart, fine and mild, northeasterly winds 22. Launceston, fine and mild. A little rain possible tonight, 24. Melbourne, partly cloudy, a little rain. Fine for most of the time, though, 34. In Mildura, fine, partly cloudy, hot, 39. Albury, Wodonga, a little rain, 33. Bendigo, partly cloudy with a little rain, 36. Ballarat, partly cloudy, 36. Warrnambool, the same, 33. Sale, a little patchy rain developing, and 31. Canberra, fine. A late storm about the southern ranges, northeast to northwesterly winds, 32. The Illawarra south coast, very warm and humid. Isolated late shower or thunderstorm possible, and 29. In the central west, very warm to hot and 38. In the Riverina, the lighting of fires totally banned. That's until midnight, a hot day with high cloud. Wagga 37, Griffith 38, and the Hunter, high to very high fire danger as well. Warm to hot and humid, lengthy sunny periods, Newcastle 29, and the inland regions of Sydney today, another high fire danger. It will be a fine day, increasing sunny periods, the chance of a late thunderstorm, southeast to northeasterly sea breezes, thank heaven, because that makes it different, doesn't it? Beautiful on the coast anyway. 27 through to 36 in Brisbane, fine. Light to moderate northeasterly winds, fresh this afternoon and evening. 29, isn't that a magic shot? Well done, Weather Cam. I'm not allowed to say that again. In Brisbane. Townsville, a shower. And everything I had that was fun, I'm never allowed to say. Townsville, a shower and 32. Cairns, a shower and 31. In Mount Isa, fine. The chance of a late thunderstorm and 40. Alice Springs, fine and 41. And Darwin, a late storm and 33. Here is the satellite picture. Good on you, Gray. Beautiful. So there it is. There's the cloud. You got any more Christmas carols ready out there? You want me to sing a few for you? Oh, I don't know the words to that. Was the end part. Hey, was that true, Steve and Liz? But Steve, did you see a whale? Oh, don't do that, Rob. Did you see a big whale at Avoca? In the water, did you?
I wasn't there, so I have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you?
Yeah. Where were you? You spent the weekend decorating. Geez, you did a good
I'll
job.
Put the tree up.
Yeah. It's got a bit of a lean, but...
Oh, that was a close change of subject there, Bronnie.
Yeah, I thought that was quick, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Had a
Brian.
whale of a time at Avoca.
Yes, coming up on today, children and religion in the 90s.
There's Festive Fun Thursday, 7:30.
What the hell is this, a drive-in movie?
Teddy Z's boss is playing the screw.
Very much to the extent that I would have just absolutely burst out laughing in his face, but they wanted to talk to him further, so I thought, well, I shouldn't laugh right at this particular occasion. I'll let them talk to him a little bit further before I laugh at him on what it was. And they did then ask, had he done his hair, and he said, no, he's only halfway through. But, you really do. You sit there and you can't believe some people's answers and replies out of things.
No, I think you've just set back the punk cause about 10 years in this country. Well, you're just laughing there. It must be, that must be something... You're not really allowed to laugh much in your job, are you? Not publicly. You've got to be pretty stern.
There is a certain thing that people expect out of the police force, and they expect you to perform your job, yet sometimes they don't expect you to be human. You would like to be able to have that release of pressure and have a really great laugh, even a great cry over something. And people don't expect you to be able to do that. You've got to be that machine sometimes, and people expect you to be able to deal with something with absolutely no reaction whatsoever. But I can tell you there's many times we come out with a laugh or a bit of a cry out of something, and feeling very upset, feeling very high, very, very low. But it all comes with it. And I mean, it changes each time. I mean, you might have a day on a shift that that whole sequence of events happens in one day. And sometimes it's very hard to take, but it grows with you as the job progresses.
It's like television, really.
Yeah.
Laughter and tears. And that's just in the makeup room. I mean, it's a tough industry there too. The obvious argument, of course, against women in the force is that they cannot take the physical side of it.
Well, 15 years, I'm still waiting for the full physical. Not that I'm asking for it, please don't get me wrong. Far from it.
Leave her alone.
Please. Now, I think as far as it's concerned, I have to approach it in a totally different angle to a guy. A guy can go in and on the average he can probably handle himself. I really don't know to what extent that I can handle myself, and so I've really got to go in and talk to people.
Do you ever get the feeling as a police officer that you're fighting a losing battle and it's a tide you won't stem?
You hope that it is not. I think if you get to that extent that you say you're fighting a losing battle, then it's time you leave the police force. I arrested a 10-year-old boy only a few weeks ago, and he's still in custody at the moment. And it makes it very hard because I don't know what the future for that 10-year-old boy is. I have no idea whatsoever. And it's going to be very hard for him.
10 years old?
Yes.
What on earth does a 10-year-old child do to warrant arrest?
Threatened to stab another 9-year-old.
Good Lord.
Yes.
So much for Mr Hawke's no child living in poverty. What about children living in custody by the year 1990?
Yes. It's hard. I mean, he needs more or less 24-hour attention. And it means that whatever family does take the time and take him has got to spend 24 hours attention to try and give him that love that he needs. And that's really what he needs, love and affection with all that time in the world on him.
Does it frustrate you that you can't follow through with something like that?
Oh, yes. I mean, you'd love to have them. I'd love to have an opportunity with the kids. But if I do that, I mean, I don't believe I could work in a job to be able to do that sort of thing. Because as far as it's concerned, with him in particular, he really needs everything. And that love and attention, I wish somebody could give it to him.
What's a police officer's dream? I mean, given your choice, what's the perfect situation for you?
That'd be very nice, perfect situation. I suppose I could always say go back and work on Lord Howe Island. It'd be very nice. That was very nice. We're doing relieving duty over there, but I think perfect situation. A lot of money for doing a job that would be a lot more pleasant. But that's all part of the job. I think I accept the job as far as it's concerned of what I am doing now to a reasonable degree. I mean, you always hope for more.
My advice to you, Sue, is a bank job. Thank you very much. No documentary about the police would be complete without mentioning the crime reenactment programs. Shows such as Australia's Most Wanted, Crime File and Backchat have elevated crime into the realms of art and entertainment. But in doing so, have they actually begun to affect reality? How's the show been received?
Good. Right from the start, we had results. We've had an enormous increase in numbers being caught.
Criminals?
Oh, no, viewers. No, we don't want to catch the criminals. If we didn't have criminals out there on the streets, we'd be pretty stuck for a plot.
Where do you think the appeal lies in programs such as this?
I think it's actually in being able to spot someone you know. I think there's a great deal of credibility to be had from saying, I hang around with a known criminal.
Have there been many arrests made because of these reenactments?
Oh, sure.
How many criminals so far?
Well, criminals, none. It's actually been more actors, really.
Actors?
Yeah, well, we have actors act out the parts of the criminals. This seems to be no problem to the general public, but the police apparently are having a bit of difficulty working out who's who. Just this morning, we had two very fine NIDA graduates actually go down for grand larceny.
That's terrible.
I would have thought so, yeah, but apparently they're quite looking forward to jail. I reckon it'll be beneficial to their craft or something.
Have these shows had any effect on the criminals at all?
Yeah, I think it's made them lift their game.
In what way?
Well, I think now, if you haven't been on TV, you're a no one. So this has become the criminal's #1 aim.
To get caught?
No, not to get caught, to get reenacted. And nobody's going to reenact a sort of dull and boring crime, are they? So you'll find that crimes like, rape, bag snatching, mugging, knifing, breaking and entering, all those sort of crimes actually have gone down. But there's actually been an increase in the more bizarre sort of way out crimes, which is actually a bit like the one we're doing for tomorrow night's program. This is a Toorak mansion, and apparently a couple of dwarves dressed up as nuns. They came down the stairs, burst through into the dining room. They pleasured the hostess senseless, and then got the girls and sent chicks their way through the door. I mean, that's going a bit of effort, really.
No matter where you are in the police force, no matter what country, no matter what time in history, you're going to have one basic problem, i.e. your public image stinks. Well, one man who believes that shouldn't be so and believes he has a way of changing it is image consultant George Dodd. George, welcome. And what plans do you have?
Well, unfortunately for the police, the public are
judging this book by its cover, so we're going to have to change the cover. New uniforms, which is fine by me. Every time I hear the phrase "the boys in blue," my blood runs cold. I mean, why can't we have the boys in taffeta or the boys in crushed linen? Everything a police person wears should be a fashion verbal with a few well-chosen accessories after the fact. And what have we got? We've got a police force that looks as if it's being dressed by its mum, except for the highway patrol, who look as if they're being dressed by Hermann Goering.
Yes, fair enough, but the police uniform is supposed to be a statement of authority, isn't it?
Of course it's a statement of authority, and that's why they've been feared and hated by the community, because they are authority figures. Now, what I want to do is get rid of the authority, but accentuate the figure. I mean, the shoulder pad is mightier than the sword. That's what power dressing is all about. Now, the police are on the right track with one thing. They do wear hats. That's very avant, I approve. But we need much broader brims, perhaps a few feathers, some wax fruit. And I think it is outrageous that the police have to wear the same outfit for day duty and night duty. I mean, couldn't we have a little off-the-shoulder holster number for evening wear? Nothing glitzy, just a little basic black with some satin, that's all I ask. And for day wear, well, I've already got that covered. I've designed an entire range of day wear for the police. And I happen to have some here tonight, just to show you.
Well, let's take a look, shall we?
Great. The features of this design are comfort, style, weapon concealment. There's a whole range of colours. Green here is obviously for traffic control. The pink is for concerts and major public gatherings, because we have found that drunken 15-year-olds have a primal fear of the colour pink. What I've tried to capture with this collection is the essential bravery of the police force.
Bravery?
Yes, bravery. Well, if you see a fully grown man walking through a rough neighbourhood wearing a caftan, you're going to think he's pretty brave.
It's true, good point, yeah.
Thanks, fellas.
This is super designs, but it is really window dressing with respect. If you're going to change the image of the police, surely you have to change the police.
Well, that's right, and we have thought of this, and we're going to do it, Andrew. We have already identified many police around Australia who are artistic, who are sensitive, and we've brought them together as the Lyrical Response Group. They're going to fight crime with culture.
Sounds interesting.
Absolutely. And the first step for these men has been to put together this book, a collection of their most poignant, most moving poetry, police verbal, the classics. This is going to be part of an extended anthology called Strip Searching the Soul. And actually a few of the poems have been rendered to video, and I brought some of that along tonight.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er dale and hill, when all at once I saw a crowd that seemed to be acting in an unruly fashion. I did call for them to disperse, and then proceeded to call in reinforcements. It's not bad.
Yes, so what, did you get arts funding for the Lyrical Response Group?
Oh, we tried, but unfortunately they are fully employed, they are committed police persons, so we just couldn't get the money, so their art has to see them through. I almost cry when I watch them singing this, Andrew.
Shall I compare thee to A, summer's day, B, a truck travelling at 140k in a built-up area, or C, Tony the Knife Travers, alias Hegarty, wanted in 3 states for questioning?
That's very beautiful. George, I wish you well in your attempt to fight crime with culture.
Oh, thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, it's been super. Only the lucky few have the luxury of being part of the Lyrical Response Group. For the rest, easing tension and stress is a tricky business, but one of their favourite ways of unwinding is with their own tailor-made cigarette, Exhibit A. Exhibit A, which is made from the finest blend of illegal herbs confiscated from courtrooms around the country and available in either mulled or extra ripped. It's the smoke that 9 out of 10 police officers deny ever having touched. Exhibit A, when only the bust will do. Which brings me to my next guest, a drug fiend, a smack addict, a dope freak. No, actually, he's not. He used to be someone I went to school with, actually, and a former police officer, former constable, Chris Nimmo. Chris, welcome.
Thank you, Andrew.
I've just defamed you publicly. You can sue me for millions now. Congratulations. You're the lucky winner. Well, Chris, you were in the police force for 5 years, and your father was a cop before you. Is that why you joined?
No, having a father was a cop would probably be one of the reasons why he would never join, I'd say.
Why?
Well, you see how much the stress that it puts on a family. My mother had to bring up 4 kids, and I remember sometimes seeing my father coming home covered in blood and never really understanding why that was like that, and always wondering if he was actually going to come home, and being quite fearful as a child that you might actually lose your dad.
Was there a sense of threat?
Yeah, I remember one instance when my father had some run-in with some bikies, which was a pretty common thing for cops to do 20 years ago in the western suburbs, and they'd made threats against him, and so for about a week or so we had police sitting off our house, and when we went to school we had a police car follow us, and I remember the bikies coming down to our house and revving their engine and taking off, and that was about it. But there was always a threat. I mean, when you're a child you're always more susceptible to threat.
Did you cop much at school because your father was a cop?
Yeah, I'd say, particularly sort of later part of primary school, that I was the subject of a fair bit of bullying, and probably one of the reasons why when I turned about 21, I'd always sworn that I would never become a cop, and I thought, I'd always just hated bullies, and I thought, well, here's a chance to not only get it out of my system, but fulfil that role of protector that a lot of police feel that they have, despite the negative things that people say about cops.
Did you get any laughs? You must have got a few laughs.
Yeah, I remember driving down Old Southhead Road one day, seeing a car weaving across the road, and thinking, oh great, I can get back to the station easy because I'll just pull this bloke and I'll have a drink driver, and I can have a couple of easy hours while I have a coffee and type it up.
I have a dreadful feeling I know where this story is going.
But the passenger was giving the driver a head job, which is why he was weaving all over the road.
I've never forgiven you for busting my parents. You're into cars, I know you're very into cars, and that was one of the side benefits of working with the Highway Patrol, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really love the sensation of having a company car to go and thrash the guts out of. It was really good fun sometimes.
Well, I mean, you quit after 5 years. Why was that?
Well, it fit in with my original plan of just moving on. I'd really enjoyed the experience of being a cop, but there were other things I wanted to do, and I just wanted to continue on and try other experiences.
When you were in the force, did you ever experience any corruption? Because that's most people's perception.
No, I'd never had in 5 years ever anybody offer me even so much as a bribe. I never worked with anybody who ever talked about being bribed. And I worked with a lot of cops. There's probably a lot of that to be because cops who are corrupt are really viewed as scum by the normal average cop, and particularly the bloke in uniform, because he's so readily identifiable. He's the one who walks down the street and everyone thinks, look at that corrupt bastard driving home in his Porsche at night. But so all the cops I knew hated the corrupt cops. I thought they were scum.
Must really piss you off that you're tarred with the same brush then.
Yeah. People naturally assume that it's a really sinister, shadowy sort of organisation, but one of the problems one of the causes that I would imagine is because you only see one side of it. You only see the actual, reactive police force. You don't really see the effect that being them there as a preventative is.
Did you ever have a gun pulled on you or have to pull a gun?
I suppose I had guns pulled on me about half a dozen times. Domestics would be the most dangerous thing that, for guns, would be the most dangerous things. Armed robs, you might go to 3 or 4 armed robberies in a day, but you knew that by the time they'd called it in and such, the offender was probably another K away.
Yeah.
So you just have one car go to the place and the rest would just circulate. But I felt much more threatened at domestics. I've turned up at doors and heard rifles being cocked on the other side. I walked down a hall and sat down and had a bloke walk out in combat greens with a semi-automatic 22 under his arm.
God. And how do you react in that situation? First of all, how do you react on the inside?
Well, it's a real disbelief, especially the first time. The first time I had a gun pulled on me was the perfectly sane-looking gentleman with the combat greens and the mad grin and the automatic rifle, and I felt really that I was playing a role, and I thought, I wish I was playing a role because he's really pointing it at me. But I was a very junior copper then, and I was with a senior sergeant, and after a while he just talked the bloke into putting the gun down.
What with the time-honoured technique of saying please?
Yes, have a family and just grovelling. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it works. It works well in television too.
We change the story for court.
Yeah, yeah. Do you?
No, never, never. Of course it happens. Yeah. Courts, cops change the evidence around to suit them. But for that to happen,
is that justice, or is that reality?
That's reality. That's the way things happen. It would be, I think it's unrealistic to expect police to go out and do their job and not reflect their own value judgments on society. So a cop who feels that he's got someone who has done this crime and who feels frustrated by the lack of evidence, it's a really big temptation to make the evidence up. But by saying that, that makes it sound like it happens all the time, but it doesn't, but it will happen in a small percentage of cases.
What about women in the police force? Is that a good idea?
Oh, I think it's a great idea. Same with reducing the height requirements, same with...
No, I think that's a good idea, yeah.
Anything, I think, which reflects the real makeup of society is better, because I think it's going to help with the police image a lot. They've got that image of, as you were saying earlier, you can't imagine anyone being tough enough to be a cop, but depends what you mean by tough. I mean, if you want to be a footballer sort of tough and charge in with the door or the shoulder, you're not going to last long. I think police women are going to set a lot of example for men, because they don't have the physical strength they can resort to. They're going to have to use their voice. They're going to have to talk to people.
Well, do police have to look at changing their attitude towards the community, do you think?
Well, I think the police are. I don't feel as...
You never were good at English, were you?
I don't feel as pessimistic about the future for the police as Duncan has, or Duncan is. And
there you go again.
Oh, we can just edit it out.
Oh, no, we'd like to make the guest look silly. Go on.
When you told me that you want to be on the show, apart from this massive pimple bursting on my neck, I went down to the Bowral police station, and I thought, well, it was 9 years ago since I was at the academy. What's changed? And I thought, I went and asked one of the couple of young coppers there how they perceived it, because they'd only been out about 6 months. They said that the training was now 6 months longer. The first 18 months you don't carry a weapon, whereas once I'd finished with the academy I was carrying a gun. I think it's a good idea. The new cop is extremely nervous and is more likely to use the gun or pull it out when you don't have to. I mean, drawing a revolver can be more of a hazard to yourself than not, because what do you do with it if you don't have to shoot? Someone wants to fight. You've got to try and put the gun away or let them have it. Anyway, he was saying that there's much more emphasis on the community policing side of it, trying to talk to people more, trying to get away from the Rambo cowboy image that sort of television tends to perpetuate. And also there was a lesson emphasis on self-defence. I mean, when I went to the academy you had self-defence and such, but it was centred around a lot of martial arts like karate and taekwondo, but now it's a lot more on restraining an offender rather than thumping them, so knocking them down.
Verbally restraining them?
Well, there's got to be a time when you're going to have to physically restrain somebody.
Well, I'm going to have to physically restrain you, Chris. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew.
We've talked tonight a lot about the police image, which has suffered many times in the past at the hands of TV. Well, we've managed to get hold of tapes of a television program the police themselves made about 4 years ago and attempted to sell to various networks. It didn't work, the networks felt it wouldn't work, and in the end the police put it in the can. But we've got highlights of it for you now.
Pig, and this is the police force's attempt to show the people of Australia that, oh, geez, you bastards. To show the people of Australia that police have a sense of humour. So will you please welcome our first guest for the certain... Oh, jeez. Probationary Constable David Anstey.
Take my mother-in-law. Police. You have the right to remain silent, you know. I tell you what, my wife, she's so ugly, I arrested her. You know what? Right, these two Irishmen, they walk into a pub, I arrest them. Now this one, no, look, seriously, right? Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the homicide. This one you're really going to love, right? Right? There's two poofters. What does one poofter say to the other poofter? Nothing. They were both arrested. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Probationary Constable David Anthony. Thanks, David. That was great. That was great. Well, now we've got a very special treat for you there from Perth. It's the empty cells.
Are you bored with life? Why not join a police force? It's a great job. Get ahead in life. There's a great social club. You could go to the policeman's ball. Learn how to throw the book at people. Or why not try Vice? Why don't you join the mounted police? Just look us up in the yellow pages.
Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Scott.
Scott, where'd you get the clothes from? A car accident? Oh, they'll come back into fashion. Maybe not. OK, well, the next act is someone that no sergeant would ever want to take back to his commissioner. Yes, they're the naughty boys of Queensland, the Tony Fitzgerald All-Stars.
Hey, what's Russ Hinz's worst nightmare?
I don't know, mate. What is Russ Hinz's worst nightmare?
Landing flat on his back in an empty room with the phone just out of reach.
Hey, settle down, you people! Now, what I want to know is, how many Russ Hinzes does it take to change a light bulb? Hey? None! He can't fit in a room! Oh, get stuffed.
Dostoevsky. Kafka. Plath. Joyce.
Mate, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I was being intellectual.
I've got a joke.
Ooh, let's start the
Where do the Queensland Police go for a holiday? Bribery Island.
Oh, Richard! The song.
1,
2, 3, 4. The force is a force, of course, and nobody calls to the force of force. Unless, of course, they've left the force and the names they've named are dead.
Oh, they're wicked. Hey, look, just look at this. What I want to know is, did you get these clothes from the Blind Society's contribution to St Vincent de Paul, did you? Is that what It's all right. Well, we've got a real special act for you now. Oh, he's not a bastard at all. He's a great guy, someone I really respected, who's stairway to heaven. Will you please welcome Mr. Leonard Teal?
There's a lady who knows all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. And when she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word, she can get what she came for. There's a sign on the wall. But she wants to be sure, because she knows that sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. And there's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. And it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason. And a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forest will echo with laughter. And it makes me wonder. And it makes me wonder. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. Yes. There are two paths you can go on, but in the long run, there's still time for you to change the road you're on. Your head is humming and it won't go. In case you don't know, the piper is calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our souls, there walks a lady we all know who shines bright light and wants to show how everything still turns to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last when all are one and one is all. To be a rock and not to roll.